Wokeness has no place in our U.S. military, period. So it's unfortunate that we've seen under the Biden administration, with him as our commander-in-chief, we've seen some in the Department of Defense prioritize pronouns over preparedness. And so that's the senator and I's point here, is saying we need to get back to the basics here of what our U.S. military needs to be doing. It's about preparedness. It's about making sure that we can step up and defend our country in a time when our adversaries, who do not have our best interests at heart, are continuing to advance and focus on their military. So that's what the senator and I are calling for with our military here in the U.S.
There's no way that's right. That was lawmaker Representative Ashley Hinson. And it's one thing when everyday people blame issues with society on things that they already don't like, but it's another when a congressperson, someone who can do something about the problem, does so. I'll get back to what she can do to help military recruitment in a minute. But first, do you remember this past August when Representative Jim Banks tweeted, quote, "Student loan forgiveness undermines one of our military's greatest recruitment tools at a time of dangerously low enlistments"? Yeah, that let us further know what we already knew. Military recruiters prey on the disenfranchised, minorities, and poor people with a lack of resources. At that time, this Yahoo article cited a 2020 youth poll conducted by the Pentagon, which found that 52% of respondents said they would consider joining the military to pay for their future education, a reason that was second only to pay. Military service also counts towards the public student loan forgiveness plan. The American military has been all volunteer since the end of the draft in 1973, meaning the military relies on recruitment, which can focus on marginalized communities and the children of veterans. Well, recently, the U.S. Army recommended that soldiers apply for SNAP benefits, also known as food stamps, to help cover their rising costs for inflation. The U.S. Army cited the higher prices on a range of goods because of inflation in its recently released official guidance. The guidance points soldiers to the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program and links them to the Federal Welfare Program's website. Inflation is still a worldwide problem, and hey, this is just in time for Republicans to tell even soldiers to stop asking for handouts and living off of the government. And yes, while we can all agree that there's a U.S. military recruiting issue, the viability of the all-volunteer force could be at stake, according to a former senior military official telling ABC News. Pentagon data shows a simple, troubling trend. Fewer and fewer young Americans want to serve, and due to obesity and other problems, fewer are qualified. Furthermore, the pool of young people who meet the basic standards to enlist in the military is also shrinking. Only 9% of young people now show a propensity to serve, according to the Defense Department's polling data shared with ABC News. It's the lowest number seen in 15 years. See, what would have been great for a government official to know and acknowledge when she went on national TV during this Fox News interview after the host, who is a military veteran himself, thank you for your service, asked, "Do the young people of America still think of the military as defending this country and patriotism?" She could have said, top reasons cited for not wanting to join are the possibility of injury or death and fear of developing PTSD or other psychological problems, our lack of health care, instead of talking about how preferred pronouns interfere with preparedness. So, what can the House of Representatives do about it? Mackenzie Eaglin, an analyst at the American Enterprise Institute, said the answer is to increase pay and be more realistic about how inflation affects service members. Quote, "A better solution is to abandon rosy inflation assumptions, boost basic pay, and request a defense top line above inflation each year so forces and families have predictability and stability," she said. Gilbert Cisneros told senators that a 4.6% military pay raise included in the fiscal year 23 defense budget will help, adding that he is working closely with the services to, quote, "leverage all authorities, resources, and tools to address recruiting challenges. It would help to empower recruiters with more incentive tools, though that would mean more funding for things like enlistment bonuses and higher pay, likely coming at the expense of other important military projects," according to the former official. For Rep. Hinson, it's easier to go to war against a fake pretend enemy like wokeness than it is to go to bat for soldiers and veterans. For Rebel HQ, I'm Jeff Wiggins. My architect knows Japanese. For more from the Young Turks, stay right here. To see additional content from yours truly, click on the Jeff Wiggins hashtag. You can also find me on my YouTube channel, We Gonna Be Alright. Thanks for watching.